Return to our next case, in which we see a growing population evident in that mid-year population, but also with that growth rate at 1.8%. And so the growth rate's starting to slow down. So you're seeing transition, you're seeing change. Look at fertility rate. Fertility rate still looks a little high. So 2.8 is a little bit higher than the average country, higher than the United States, for example, higher than replacement level. And so that's one reason why this country is growing, is it's has a fertility rate higher than the 2.1 replacement level. We have a crude birth rate of 23 compared to the crude death rate of 5. That really is where this population is growing, is because they're having a much higher birth rate compared to death rates. Further, we look at life expectancy, not bad, and so life expectancy is definitely increasing, so people here do live longer than average. I would say this is a good example of potentially a stage 3 country. We do see at the bottom that net migration, people leaving the country. This is probably a country in which it's recently transitioned from stage 2 and is somewhere there in the early stage 3s. And here we have that country being Egypt. And so Egypt, first off, we see some sex ratio imbalances. At the top, we see a little bit more females than males, but at the bottom, we see more males than females. And so that, once again, speaks to the cultural preference for males in Egyptian society. What we got going on here is we can see some changes. And so if you were giving this country, if you're given the country of Egypt, what you'd be asked to do is to identify, well, what's going on, creating what would appear to be stability there in the 20 to 34-year-old age groups. You can see how it's almost a perfect rectangular base. And so something happened, about 15 to 20 years ago to cause that then to just kind of go back to being the same, in which you see this increasing, as every generation below it increases over time. So what's going on here is this does present itself as, like I said, a late stage 2, early stage 3 country based on its demographic indicators, but also in terms of the base of the pyramid, it does have more of stage 2 characteristics, although it looked like there was a moment there where it was coming close to stage 3. And just going on as far as what's going on here, this is once again a Muslim country. And so Muslim countries, you often do see a cultural preference for males, but you often see higher birth rates, higher fertility rates, which helps explain why this population might be growing, although other indicators might say it looks like more of a stage 3 country. That whole influence of cultural, the role of religion, helps to explain why this might be a little bit more wider base, a little bit more faster growing than what it might be perceived to be at first glance.